Have you ever caught yourself thinking, is it too late for me? Like, too late to pivot careers or start over, or to find purpose again, or to create a life that actually feels good? Maybe you looked at your age or your resume, your marriage, your bank account, your health, or your past choices, or your current responsibilities and thought, I miss my window. And if that thought has ever crossed your mind, I want you to hear this clearly. It is not too late, not even close. But the real question is, are you willing to believe that a new chapter is available to you? Are you willing to believe that? Because your mindset will either become the door that opens or it will become the wall that keeps you from it. Hi there. Welcome back to You Can Emerge Positive. I'm Deanne Lewis, and I work with women who are in the middle of their life and help them see it is not too late. Help them find that pathway of confidence and intention and purpose. So today's episode is about one of the most valuable questions that I hear from women. And it is a question I've asked myself too. Is it too late for me? Is it too late for me? I think this question shows up in different ways and in different stages of our life. Maybe you're younger and you're already wondering if you chose the wrong path. Or maybe you're in the midlife asking, is this really all there is? Or maybe you've been laid off and you're wondering if anyone will hire you again. Maybe you've spent years taking care of everyone else and now you barely recognize yourself. Maybe you're approaching retirement or in it and you're wondering, like, what is your purpose now? Different stages, different circumstances, same question. Is it too late? And today I want to lovingly challenge that question because I believe one of the most dangerous beliefs that we can carry is the belief that our possibility has an expiration date. There are so many moments in life where we wonder if we missed the window. You can be a junior in college and realize your major no longer excites you. And immediately your mind says, oh, I've invested so much time and money. Is it too late to change direction or am I stuck? You can be in your 30s, doing everything right on the outside, building the career and the marriage and the family, the life that everyone else thinks that looks so good. But quietly, you feel empty on the inside. And then you wonder, is this all there is? You could be in your 40s or your 50s, suddenly realize that you've spent decades on a life that is wrapped around responsibilities, expectations, and survival. But somewhere along the way, you lost touch with yourself. And then the question becomes, can I still become the woman I thought I would be? You could be laid off and feel scared because the work that you really want to do feels so far from what your resume says. And your mind says, who am I to start over now? You can be in retirement and miss the purpose and the structure, the friendships and the feeling of being needed. And you wonder, am I old? Am I too old to jump back in? These are real life moments. These are real feelings. And maybe you're sitting in the middle of one right now. Or maybe you can feel one approaching, a transition, a change, a restlessness, a quiet inner knowing that something in your life just no longer fits. And when that happens, it's easy to interpret discomfort as a sign that we're stuck. But sometimes discomfort is not a sign that you're stuck. It is a sign and an opportunity to grow. One of the reasons this question hits so hard is because our culture does not always do a good job of honoring age, wisdom, or reinvention. That's almost laughable, isn't it? We live in a world that often celebrates youth, speed, and constant achievement. And if you're over 50, you may have already felt it. That subtle message that you're less relevant, that you're less marketable, less exciting, less capable of starting something new. Age discrimination in the workplace is real. And even outside the workplace, this can be an unspoken belief because once you cross over a certain threshold, your gifts, your dreams, your purpose, and your potential somehow seems to fade. And I just don't believe that. I don't believe your purpose disappears because you had a birthday. I don't believe that your gifts expire because you've entered a new decade. I don't believe that your dreams become irrelevant just because the world is obsessed with youth. And I don't believe that the most meaningful chapter of your life is behind you. But I do believe this. If you start believing the world's limited story about age, you will begin living inside of that limitation. That is why mindset matters so much. Because if you believe you're too late and it's too late, you're going to stop looking for the possibilities. If you believe you're too old, you will stop taking risks. If you believe the dream has passed you by, well, you'll stop listening to that part of you that still wants more. And that part of you matters. That voice matters. And that desire inside you matters. So let's come back to the question. Is it too late? It's only too late if you decide it is. Hear me on that. It is only too late if you decide it is. And I don't mean that in a fluffy motivational way, not trying to make you feel good. This is true. This is mindset because I believe that your belief determines what you're willing to see, what you're willing to try, learn, risk, and become. You cannot build a brand new path while constantly telling yourself it's already over. That doesn't work. You cannot step into your next chapter while arguing for why it's impossible. You cannot create your life that you love while giving all of your attention to what other people may think. How many of us do that? I know, a lot of us do. One of my spiritual teachers used to say, be in the world, not of it. And I've thought about that so many times because, yes, we live in this world. We have responsibilities. We have bills. We may have a family or a pet. We have real circumstances and we have real obstacles that come up. But we do not have to let the world define what is possible for us. We do not have to build our lives around other people's opinions. We do not have to let fear, comparison, or cultural expectations become the author of our story. Because the truth is, you can spend years worrying about what other people think. You can spend years trying not to disappoint anyone. You could spend years waiting for permission. At the end of all that waiting, you might realize that the person that you disappointed most was yourself. So, this is not about being reckless. This is not about blowing up your life overnight. It's not about pretending there are no consequences or responsibilities. It's about being honest enough to ask, what do I still want? What do I still want? And what is calling me? What part of me have I been ignoring? And this is a biggie. What would I do if I truly believed it wasn't too late? Ask that question. What would I do if I truly believed it wasn't too late? The next chapter does not usually arrive fully formed. Most of the time, it begins with a little clarity, a whisper, a desire. Maybe it's a frustration even, a dream that you keep pushing away, a knowing that something needs to change. So the first step is not to quit your job. It's not to move across country or reinvent your entire life by Friday. The first step is just to get honest with yourself. What do you want? Not what you should want or what you think other people thinks looks impressive or special. No. And also not what makes sense to somebody else. The question is what do you want? And that sometimes is a hard question to answer when we haven't thought about ourselves for decades. What do you want? Do you want more freedom? Do you want more purpose, better health, a new career, more creativity, a deeper relationship with yourself, a community that sees you, a life that feels calmer, more joyful, maybe more meaningful? Write it down. Say it out loud. Pray about it. Meditate about it. Visualize it and revisit it every single day. And be careful on this one though. Share it with someone who believes in you. Say it out loud to someone else. But make sure this is a person that is going to embrace it. Because even those people that live under our roof and love us and we love them, sometimes they're not the ones to receive this well. So be careful who you do share it with when you do. Say it out loud. Be mindful, though, of who you're saying it to. You know, the connection here is something that I'm so proud about for Beyond by Emerge Positive. This is one of the things that I enjoy the most in this group of women because these women are not just looking to become someone else. They're not. They're trying to reconnect with themselves and then create a very clear pathway to creating the next decade that they want. And they're asking real questions. You know, what do I want this next decade to look like? Who am I now? What have I outgrown? What am I ready to stop tolerating? It's a good one. And what would it look like to choose myself again? And the feedback from the women in the group is not, I need someone to fix my life. That is not it at all. What I'm hearing is, I'm finally feeling like I'm not alone. Somebody else said, I'm starting to see possibility again. It's like amazing. One said, I didn't realize how much I needed this space. Another said, I'm actually taking small steps instead of just thinking about change. And it feels so good. And I feel supported by women who understand the season of life. That all matters. Because when you're trying to create a change, especially when you are in midlife, you don't need hype. You need support. You need honest conversations. You need reminders that you're not crazy for wanting more. You need tools to help you move forward. And sometimes to sit in a room with other women who are also asking these brave questions about what their next chapter is going to be. And that is what Beyond is all about. It's not about pretending everything is perfect. It's not about having all the answers. It's not about it's about giving yourself space to become more intentional with your life and creating something that you want. That's why this conversation is such a natural part of the work we're doing here, because no matter what your age, no matter what stage of life you're in or your circumstances, you're still allowed to ask, what's next for me? What's next for me? So here's what I know for sure. We need more women who are willing to become examples of possibility. We need women who refuse to disappear just because they've reached a certain age. We need women who are willing to dream again, but not just dream, do. Because dreaming is beautiful. But at some point, we have to move. We have to take action. We need to take the class, make the phone call, update the resume, start walking again, join the community, ask for help. Take the next step. Not the perfect step, just the next step. Because confidence doesn't always come before action. In fact, it almost never does. You prove to yourself that you are willing to try. And every time you take a small step, you send a message to yourself. You send a message that I still matter. My life still matters. My dreams still matter. And the future is worth participating in. is worth creating. And that is so powerful. And it doesn't require that you have everything figured out today. It only requires that you stop telling yourself that it's too late. So, if you've been asking yourself, if it's too late, is it too late for me? I want you to pause, take a breath, and hear this. It is not too late. Listen to me. It is not too late. It's not too late to begin again. It's not too late to change direction or to find purpose or to create joy or to become more of who you were always meant to be. Whether you have 50 years, 40 years, 10 years, or 5 years, shouldn't those years feel meaningful? Shouldn't they feel alive? You hold more power than you realize. And that power begins with your mindset. Get clear on what you want. Visualize it. Write it down. Say it out loud. Share it with someone who believes in you. Pray on it. Meditate on it. And then take one small step. Because it's not too late. It's time to get excited about the possibilities. Because we need you. We need your gifts. We need your wisdom, your courage, and your example. We need to see more dreamers that do. If this episode resonated with you, I would love for you to share it with someone who could really use this message today. And what woman couldn't, really? We've all been here. And if you're in it now, please take this to heart. If you're in a season that you're asking what's next, I invite you to come to the group Beyond by Emerge Positive. Give us a try for a month. I promise you it will open your eyes. It will open up doors and it will give you that hope and the motivation that you're looking for. You can also download my free guide, The Reset. It's a free PDF about creating a 10-minute morning routine for yourself to really lock in a mindset to create a better day every day. Go to emergepositive.com or it's in the show notes here below. Download it, try it, see what you can do with it, and look to have better days every day, truly. All right. Well, until next time, remember, it is not too late. You are still becoming, and you can emerge positive. Thank you for coming today. I'll see you next week.